Hello Internet, I'm Hamster Bomb, and you are back for some more Pokemon TFG 4th set. Now, this one is going to be pretty interesting, and Chris probably was not even expecting me to do one of these, but I cannot contain myself. His figures are too awesome, and I have to show them off to everybody. We might be seeing a lot of these that we're seeing in this episode later, because this episode is all themed on in-progress stuff. And this is actually one that is really going to be interesting. One, because we can kind of see where he's heading. Which of these figures is he not going to follow through with and like completely paint? Maybe there's something that was wrong with them that he decided not to do this. Or maybe some of these figures are actually like really awesome looking, and we should definitely let them know, yeah, you gotta make more of these, and if you're seriously like stuck on them, I'll pay for you to keep making them because they're really, really amazing, and some of these I kind of want like on my shelf anyway. So, starting off with our first in-progress one today is a Dragon-type Altaria. This one is really cool. I really like this one. The Altaria, it like kind of makes sense making an Altaria for a TFG because I don't know, just to me it feels like it's really easy to get it to actually stay onto its base and still look really good doing almost any pose, which kind of limits almost any of the other Pokemon, and we'll see coming up with a pose for these things and how they're going to actually stick to their own base is pretty tough. And Chris manages to do this right every single time. So this is really cool getting to be able to see the Altaria figure that he has in progress. I don't know, like I said, with any of these figures, whether he's stuck in planning or if he's got commission stuff that's gotten in the way or what actually is going on. But either way, I'm really liking this Altaria right here. For ideas of it, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's really just kind of sitting there. But, I mean, like I was saying, there's not too much you could really do, and kind of taking advantage of the fact that you can get Altaria to just be on the base anyway, because it's like, it's covered in the fluff. It's going to be super easy for it. I think color is going to do this thing a lot of good. So the paint is really, really going to add to this Altaria figure. The next one we get to look at is a Bagon, another Dragon type. This one is actually really interesting because right when I saw it, the first thing I thought was a Larvitar, the Larvitar TFG. It's like doing the exact same thing. And I was like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that because that's like kind of a cool pose anyway. Besides, I'm pretty sure as a Bagon, he uses like lots of headbutt and stuff like that anyway. So even more than Larvitar, I think he naturally learns it and Larvitar does not. I might be wrong, but anyway, it made sense to me. Plus, he's actually on like a dirt terrain. I'm assuming it's gonna be dirt, not grass. But either way, because he's found in Meteor Falls originally. That's why I always think of him. So I think he's like found in caves and stuff like that. So that's really cool. I'm really liking the Bagon. Once again, I think the color is going to do him a lot of good. Looks really cool. I'm glad he chose another Dragon type because I really like Bagon. It's kind of cool that we also have a Salamence of the TFG, and so this time we're going to be getting a little Bagon. Really excited to see where this one goes. Next one we get to look at here is a Weasel. You guys know from any of my other videos, or some of them where I mention this, Floatzel is actually my least favorite Pokemon ever. I can't stand Floatzel. So I'm already like super biased and like saying that I really, really don't like Weasel's whole line. But I do have to say, this figure is done really well. I like how he's actually like swimming in his own base as if the base was water. Like, that's really creative. We can see on the left side of the image here, like the water is actually splashing behind him. It's kind of hard to see on the one on the right, but the one on the right we can actually see his arms are really carrying over, and he's like paddling himself forward as his tails are like actually like spinning. I don't know, like Sonic the Hedgehog. He does that, right? He like actually spins his tails like not Sonic the Hedgehog, but Tails from Sonic is what I meant to say. You can't just say Tails, but whatever. Anyway, I think that's a really creative one in figuring out like how he's actually posed. Once again, the paint is really going to make that one look really amazing. Also, I am pretty sure this one was made way before he started doing all the clear plastic stuff, because he definitely would have done it on some of those splashing waves. Though it may not be too late to actually remove some of those parts and actually put clear plastic on them. I don't know. Now there's an idea. That would be pretty cool. Then he would probably get me and I'd be like, alright, Weasel's pretty cool. Weasel's pretty cool. Next one we get to look at is actually from Kalos. This one is a Chespin. That one is pretty sweet. This one is actually, okay, initially the first thing I was actually going to say, it looks like it's the most unstable, and like he might fall over. Maybe he was actually just kind of drooping a bit because of the photo, but it's actually really large too. That's a really big one. That is a really, really big one. Chespin has slowly been growing on me through the entire time that we've been in the Kalos region. Initially, I was like, oh my god, Fennekin for the win, and Froakie, oh you're so cool, you turn into Greninja. Chespin, hi. You know, so I was never really that big fan of a Chespin. Big Chespin fan of a, yes, me, never mind. Can't talk right now, I guess, but anyway. I think it's really cool, really cool how he's managed to get this Chespin to, like, lunge out and jump off of one of those, like, thorny branches. It looks really cool. I really, like, once again, I'm kind of curious, like, how the paint is going to change this one, because Chespin is very colorful, and I want to see, like, how those browns and greens, like, really make him pop up there, because right now, it just kind of looks like an object on another object. So, once again, the paint's really going to do this one a lot of good. Maybe just some Photoshop up, he can, like, figure out, like, how he wants these to look. But, for now, really cool figure. I don't know if he's actually, sending his commissions out, because from what I understood, some of the commissions, he's actually just sculpting them and, sending them off, not even painting them. And it was just, you know, because, I guess someone didn't want to fully pay for the paint. Have you seen what he's painted? He's really good. But, anyway, so some of these may not be able to be finished, and this one may be one of those. I'm not sure. Once again, Chris, you gotta let me know down in the comments. And you guys, once again, down in the comments, just let me know what you think about some of these figures, and whether, he should definitely keep painting them or not. Speaking of which, the very next one we get to look at is his Ditto in progress. Now, I really wanted to include this one, because as I was saying in the last episode, I kind of remember that original Ditto sculpt all being one color and purple. So this is actually interesting. We actually get to see it like this. I really like seeing it like this. It's really nice, but I don't know if I prefer the color over it, because the color's really cool too. Actually seeing like the Charmander turning orange and the Squirtle turning blue, all just blooming out of the Ditto. It's really cool. It's really cool. So, I'm not sure. That one's really interesting. Once again, I want to hear what you guys think about this one down in the comments below as well. That one, I like them both. I like them both. That Ditto is really creative. Alright, next one we get to look at here is a Dragonair in progress, which, according to his 4th set, would complete the entire line, because, like I said before, we have a Dratini, he has made a Dragonite, and this is a Dragonair in progress. Really cool. I really like Dragonair. Dragonair is one of my favorite Pokemon, so seeing it in a TFG like this is really cool. It is, and once again, I think this is another one where he's actually, like, going into his own base as if it was water. I'm trying to think of, like, there was anything else, like, you could actually add to make a, Kyoto-style Dragonair possible. Other than, like, environmental stuff of making, like, for some reason I'm actually thinking of, like, an ice, like, shard backdrop of some sort behind him. That'd be really sweet. I say ice, mainly because I think of really cool Dragonair stuff. I think of the art from the, I don't think it was, like, Arita? I don't remember the guy's name. The original Dragonair card. It was really cool. Had like auroras and stuff behind Dragonair, and because of that, I always thought of like really beautiful ice and rainbow colors and auroras with Dragonair. So I kind of think of that when looking at this. Like maybe just like a touch of something else will really be that one thing that makes him go back to this figure and go, "Yep, I know what I need to do now. I know what I need to do." But I have no idea. That is all in his mind right now, so we have to figure out what he's going to be doing later. But at least we got the sneak peek that a Dragonair may be coming. The next one we get to look at here is a Gallade. This one's actually pretty slick. From what I understand, this is actually made before Mega Gallade was a thing? No, it couldn't. I may be wrong, but either way, this one's actually really interesting. As far as I know, this one, yeah, I don't think I've seen any updates on this one either, which would make sense why I put it in this collection of the in-progress stuff. Never mind, I'm just babbling this episode, aren't I? So, this one is really interesting. I think what is really cool about this one is he'd probably look the best as he is spinning, because he's actually, from what I can see, is actually designed to be spun. So I really want to see him coated in paint and spinning. That would be really cool. Now that I think about it, it'd be really cool to see, like, all of these figures actually mid-spin. Be, like, make like, animated GIFs or something. That'd be really cool if you could send us those, Chris. That'd be really cool. So, Gallade, once again, another really cool one. I, prefer Gardevoir for the evolutions. I even had male Gardevoir, in my original Ruby playthrough. So, Oh, there's that. Though recently, I've been seriously considering getting a shiny male Curlia to try and get a shiny Mega Gallade, because I have the Gardevoir, and I was actually like my 4th shiny Pokemon ever. And maybe that's why I'm such a Gardevoir freak too. I really love Gardevoir, but Gallade. I've been slowly liking that idea of like the psychic fighting. Really cool pose, really cool Pokemon. Oh, this next one. Now, this one might be one that was a commission that he was paid to just sculpt and not actually paint yet. But oh man, I want to see this one painted. It looks so good. The Gengar. Maybe he actually wanted to make like some semi-transparent shadow balls that he's like about to lunge from behind him. Man, there's so much motion and action in this. This is another one that I look at immediately and go, yep, that is Kyoto. That is Kyoto sculpt quality. That is amazing. I love these. Love these figures. They're amazing. I love how you can actually like see into his mouth, like deep into his mouth as his tongue is coming out, and the tongue is what is supporting him. Is that not awesome? Wow. So much detail and work is actually being put in these figures, like it's really unreal. Next figure we have to look at is a Koopa. Wow. Like, this is crazy. Like, this Pokemon like just came out and he's already got a really sweet TFG figure quality of this guy, and wow, do you guys like not want to see this thing painted? This is so cool. Like, I don't know, like, once again, if this was one that he made and sold and there it went, but at the very least we get to look at this. He did tell me that a good chunk of these figures are already gone, so that's why I keep bringing that up, because these figures may not be there anymore, so we may not ever be able to see some of these in full color, but at the very least here they are now, and that's really awesome to the person who's actually going to be getting this really sweet Hoopa figure. I kind of want to see it on a TFG base too, because I think it is leaning a little bit to the right, but the thing is, it's got that extra arm on the other side, probably keeping that weight down. Really smart, really cool. I love how the arms are actually like busting through the extra hoops, the portals. Sweet, very creative. I love how you're actually using the rocks too to help support everything. Really cool, really creative. Okay, this one is actually really cool as well. Super detailed Infernape figure. Okay, this is kind of crazy just because he's already using like an attack in the figure. Okay, we did this with the Gengar. The Gengar was kind of cool. I say we, but I had nothing to do with it. We saw it, is what I meant to say. The Gengar was like pulling back its own shadow balls ready to like attack and lunge, but this is different. This is like an Infernape post-launching a Fire Blast. Traditionally from the show, it is in the shape of the person with like his arms out and his legs out. Man, I feel sorry for the poor sad fool who was about to get launched with that thing. Yikes. This guy is like so crazy detailed. Like, look at the hair and like all the motion in this figure. Really crazy. The only thing that might be a downside to this one is when he's spun, the Fire Blast is probably gonna look a little weird, but most of these figures, I mean, people aren't really playing with them. I just say that because Kyoto puts so much effort into figuring out how their figures are gonna look stationary and spinning. And some of theirs kind of fail, honestly. Even Kyotos sometimes even fail doing one or the other. But there's some that really succeed at both, like Scyther, for example. I think the Scyther one is a great example of doing both. This figure, I think looks really great standstill. And this is coming from the guy, okay, once again, I really do not like the Chimchar line. The whole line, I really just don't like them. I don't know, they just rub me the wrong way. But this figure, like, for me to just now mention that, this figure is really cool. I really enjoyed this figure. Next one, this is actually, I think this might have been the very first one that he ever released, and as far as I know is still not painted, or he sold it like this, which means it's gone, which is the Togepi. This is really cool. This one actually reminds me of one of the legendary rare TFG figures, which is the Whismur, that is crying with like clear plastic all over it. It's adorable and sad, and it's great. I love it. And it really reminds me of that, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool. It's so cool, I want one of those. And I'm really curious about how the color was really going to be implemented into this one, if it was painted at all. And that appears to be his thumb right there, which probably not necessary, but oh well. Just for a size comparison, if you guys didn't know how big a Pokemon TFG was, which I would assume you did if you're watching this series. I mean, like, you know, probably, but I guess not. If you're just interested in custom Pokemon figures, then whatever. Anyway, we have one more to look at, and it is a Vespiquen. Now, this one is really cool. This one is really huge too, and from what I understand, there was actually some problems with all the small pieces actually falling apart, so I don't know if this one is going to get continued. Fortunately, we have these pictures to look at, and if the Combees that are all attached to it are a problem in terms of the weight, then maybe it might just become a Vespiquen and we might see it later. But for now, we get to see this really, really awesome Vespiquen figure with 3 Combees swarming it. This would be a really cool one, once again, stationary and spitting. I mean, like, the Combees just like swarming, flying around it as it's like in the center, engulfed. That's just sweet. Plus, this is a really, really large one. I think this is about the size of the Lugia in terms of height, and it's about as wide as anyone I've ever seen. So it's really huge. I remember measuring these things, trying to figure out how I was going to display my own, and the Lugia is the tallest, which is why I mentioned Lugia. And the widest one I honestly don't remember because none of them really go as wide as their own base, but this one does. This one is massive. So really cool, really glad we got to see a lot of these figures that he's actually got in progress. He probably wasn't even expecting 3 whole videos out of this himself, he was probably just expecting 1, but I thought it was too cool. I wanted to spend enough time on each one and get to look at all these figures for you guys because they're really awesome, really amazing, and like I said, he is accepting commissions. They're going to be at his page. I'm going to be leaving links down in the description for you guys to take a look at that. And, of course, follow him on Pokemon Collectors. He's probably going to be posting new updates for new stuff that he's doing in terms of sculpting either Pokemon TFG style stuff or just regular custom things like we saw last time. I think he was working on a Pokken style Weevil figure, so he's doing a lot of really awesome stuff, and it's really awesome that he wanted to share this stuff with us so we can all see it on this channel. So thank you, Chris, for letting us do that, and thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and I will see you all in the next Pokemon video. See ya!